high speeds, northbound 605 in the Azusa area. And again,
oh
just keep
my Lord.
as traffic.
Bienvenido. Good morning. ¿Cómo está?
But as far as law
Despiértase.
enforcement, nobody's really behind them. And that's one of those things where, you know, the guy in that, or the suspect behind that wheel should just kind of look around, calm down a little bit, and maybe just kind of get your foot out of it. We understand that you are running, but you know what? Let's try to be safe. Let's hope nobody gets hurt. Even on the freeway, we've seen these things go south. We've seen people
Buenos
lose their
días.
lives.
Good morning. ¿Cómo está?
Want to see that.
Bada bing, bada boo. Bada bing, bada boo. Bro, yo, shit. Yo, I was talking to Silvio because I can't. I took my daughter to school. I was going to do the gym, but I didn't sleep that well last night. So I was like, let me take a nap first, and then I'll go to the gym. And then Silvio called me a couple times. And Silvio's like, yo, man, you're not going to believe this. And we're talking about this serial killer in California. After I hit the gym and I come back and I take a shower, we're going to do another stream about that story, which is kind of crazy. There's some crazy stuff going in Cali. And literally while I'm talking to Silvio, my plug calls me. There's a chase. Oh, wait, Silvio, I got to go.
Mirror trying to figure out maybe where he's, whatever that person is trying to do, and not paying 100% attention to just the driving. I see the blinker going on.
Put me on. I was like, oh shit, there's no way to chase.
Unusual just for a BMW in itself. But right now you can see this vehicle making his way northbound 605. Everybody knows.
This is so crazy. I'm so excited. I don't know how to do myself.
Options out there. He can take the 210. He can make his way out into the Azusa area. Right now, though, still on the 605. These major lane changes, back and forth, kind of gives me the idea that he does not, or the suspect does not know where to go.
I was about to take my pre-workout. Can I still take my pre-workout with you guys?
Up above, calmer heads are prevailing. They're making plans. They're trying to get ahead of this. But right now, it's just hopefully he does not collide with or injure anybody as this pursuit continues. Looks like we're doing that transition right now. If I had,
and there's
to
no
guess,
cops. I think you said, right?
Doing the transition to the eastbound 210 freeway.
Good morning, rise and shine.
Looking up ahead right now, I can tell you that it's pretty much what you see right there. Nothing's really stopped. It isn't bumper to bumper by any means, but this is something unusual right there. California Highway Patrol. Hello.
Okay.
It's not a coincidence. I can tell you that this officer was waiting for the suspect to make his way onto the freeway. This is a plus in a way. If the California Highway Patrol engages, which this officer seems to be doing, lights and sirens will at least give some folks the heads up something is happening, and everybody knows. You hear the lights and sirens, you move off to the right, or at least you're going to be looking around to see what's going on.
Yeah, bro.
And that's going to give a lot of these folks the heads up. Hopefully nobody's going to get injured. But the speeds, take a look at the speeds, guys. Once he saw that law enforcement, now we're up into 115. We're well into the triple digits. So now that BMW really starting to move. Carpool lane wide open, Tony. You can take a look. You were asking about the traffic. I'm going to do a little bit of a wider shot. The sun's coming up. Everybody's driving there. They've got the sun.
Good morning, rise and shine, everybody. Wake up.
Also having to deal
especially
with
in Cali.
as well.
It's super early, right?
Give that driver some issues, and of course everybody else down there as well. They got the sunrise coming up. I'm sure the visors are down. People are probably squinting, and this guy driving in the emergency lane at 100 miles an hour. No, I was just taking a peek right there. Actually, one of the radio where I was listening to the Arrow, meaning the sheriff's helicopter. I can't hear them right now, so I was kind of wondering if they actually that one California Highway Patrol unit actually was told to back off, and it appears they may have been. So once again, I won't lose the car. That gives you that idea again that law enforcement is very, very concerned about the public safety. And now they have nobody behind this vehicle. So that means
We're
that there is
all
no
happy
lights and sirens.
today.
This bad guy looking in the rearview mirror, not seeing anybody, but still continuing to drive at close to 100 miles an hour through traffic this morning, eastbound 210 freeway up in the San Gabriel Valley area.
It's pre-workouts, caffeine, bunch of chemicals.
Point, law enforcement, they have the helicopter. I'm sure they're keeping an eye on it. But
And
as
pills.
far as guys on the ground, lights and sirens, nobody's behind him. So this person right now really just running from his own demons.
Damn. Guy's going fast, huh?
I'm glad you clarified that, because I wasn't sure we were on some other story on it this morning. There was a short pursuit, but they lost that vehicle. So this is actually a different one. And that's the thing. Law enforcement, they've got to kind of balance it out. How dangerous is it? How dangerous is this suspect? Well, this suspect, very dangerous. There you go, Tony.
Ooh,
we are
getting
really
in traffic.
Get into some traffic, and nobody wants to see this. Even if this guy just bumps or swaps paint with any of these other vehicles, that's still a collision. That's still somebody's day ruined, but that's minor compared to what could happen. Right now, though, this driver of this BMW wanted for burglary, as you said, residential burglary in the Walnut area, still continuing to drive well faster than the speed limit. At least he's slowing down a little bit. Right now, though, we're still on the 210 freeway. We've got eyes on it. I'm sure the law enforcement is watching as well, and I can tell you that I know they're going to plan something when this comes to an end. Hopefully this vehicle will just stop and the guy will just jump out. Law enforcement will magically appear, and this guy will go into custody.
Yeah, I'm getting set up for Facebook. What's up, everybody? Good morning, man. If you guys could hit like too, I'd appreciate that, por favor. Hit the like, helps the stream out. What's up, everybody on Facebook? Please, if you guys could hit like. I'm getting set up to get into the chat for Facebook and Twitch. I'll be there in a second. I'm discombobulated. Can't even talk.
Safety is the number one priority always for law enforcement, and that is safety of that suspect, safety of the public, safety of their other law enforcement. That is the biggest concern. And in these type of situations, I'm sure somebody somewhere in law enforcement, hopefully watching our picture, seeing this vehicle still driving at 100 miles an hour. A couple of close calls here on the freeway. Thank goodness there hasn't been any contact. Somebody will re-engage this pursuit, or they will somebody will say, you know what, we at least got to get at least a unit behind it just to warn the public. Right now, though, we're still flirting with those triple digits up here, weaving in and out. There you go again, using the emergency lane. Thank goodness he's staying on the freeway, though, because that's the thing. It's when he starts running red lights, going through intersections, that one was pretty close. That's when it really starts getting dangerous. Right now, though, burglary suspects, you don't know if there was a weapon involved. These are the things that they're weighing. And Roxy, I've said it times in the past, that is a pay grade well above mine. I could not make these decisions, because when you make that wrong decision, somebody could get hurt. And I just couldn't imagine. Looks like we're getting off the freeway here. It's going to be in the San Dimas area. And of course, those high speeds. And now he's making that turn. You got that California Highway Patrol right behind him, and also a motorcycle officer, which is actually great to see. And just doing a rope-a-dope, getting back onto the freeway. Look at that BMW's rear end, got a little swervy right there, and I'm very happy to see California Highway Patrol behind it. And now I'm going to actually take a second and push some buttons here and try to keep up with what law enforcement is talking about while they're chasing this car now westbound on the 210 freeway.
Rise and shine, good morning. Who needs caffeine when there's a chase? True. This shit's about to get crazy. But this takes I think 15 minutes, according to the label, to hit. They're pressing up on him now. So this is Fox 11, and that's Stu flying. Does Stu fly and talk and do the camera? What does Stu do? Or is he just doing the camera? I think he's just doing the camera, right? He's not flying camera and talking, is he? They always have a person doing the camera. That'd be pretty wild. Imagine Stu was doing all that shit. Be wild. Yeah, I can't believe the morning turned out to a chase.
So you got to think, that driver, like you said, no, because I kind of put myself in that situation.
We've had more. 650.
Adrenaline is pumping through their body, and again, driving at
losing signal.
law enforcement got behind it, that California officer, CHP officer, the speeds really did pick up. So this person definitely aware that they are being chased by law. Oof.
Oh my God! I can't even look down for a second.
A bigger.
All right. Do we have any other feeds? That's what I want to know. We need some backup feeds in case.
So that's a big V8. That's a powerful vehicle. And right now, all that power is really going to start getting him kind of blocked up there. That motorcycle, he's going to have that ability to kind of weave in and out. But this guy really, really pushing it. Going to keep an eye on him here as he's pushing his way through the traffic, getting onto that emergency lane.
Man.
I'm just keep an eye on what he's
doing
on the, right there. But
what?
Wow, look at these moves. In and out, and then just here we come again, and just squeezing through there. Now that motorcycle officer is going to have that ability to keep up, but that vehicle, he's going to have to kind of move along a little slower. But right now, even in this traffic, this suspect really pushing the limits out here. And this is again 210 freeway. We're going to be in the San Gabriel Valley area.
Oh, he's getting. Where you going to go? Ain't nowhere to go.
I'm kind of curious to see if he gets back onto the 605 where he was. Whoa!
Oh my gosh! How did he do that?
See, and that's what I'm talking about. These people are just going to work this morning. Surely
you couldn't do that in Florida.
Injured,
this should have been over a long time
who
ago.
Wants that? And it is just.
The drivers would start chasing you at this point. Somebody would shoot at you by this time.
And now, so the suspects keeping moving on here. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, but there's definitely 2 collisions so far that we've seen, minor collisions. And again, moving on to the pool lane. Maybe, hopefully, they
let me put this on Twitter.
To one of the wheels, and that'll bring it to an end. But whoa!
Oh my God!
Threading it as we're making our way through the 210, and it looked like that big rig almost was trying to squeeze them out there a little bit. Looks like we're coming up onto, seeing if we're going to be able to get off the freeway, but it looks like he's getting out of the areas that were really, really packed, which is not good because now we know he's just going to start speeding up once again.
Try to get it all over the place. Twitter, Facebook. That's what we got. But this is a burglary suspect. What? Is he armed? Okay. Let me let Instagram know too. You gotta let the gram know. Hey y'all. All right. A little sharing. Oh my God, bro. This guy's like just. You think he's on something, or is he just hyper vigilant, hyperactive? My gosh. I'm gonna put the link for Instagram.
Definitely, Tony. Anytime you see these suspects that are desperate to get away, they start getting cornered. That's one of the reasons why law enforcement doesn't box in vehicles like that, is because of that whole, need to flee type of mentality, and anything to make it happen.
CBS? Amazing.
You're right. When we get in these situations, this person's been on the emergency lane, gore points, pushing his way through there. We saw 2
I like that a lot.
Vehicles trying to get over to that far right lane. And also, sure,
as the producer said, when you go into a house with people inside, so now you're dealing with an occupied residence, it just escalates the charges that'll be filed against this person also. So they definitely do want to get this person into custody.
Yeah, we want to go back to Mark Liu. Patrick, if you could just stand by. Mark, we're hearing that you have an update at the desk. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. My colleague Esteban has been following this both with the sheriffs and the CHP. They say that originally at this home in Walnut on Cantor Lane, there were the resident was in their bedroom when they heard sounds and voices coming from their home. They saw two people inside their house that were not supposed to be there. They're described as burglars. That's when they called 911. Those burglars were alerted at the fact that there was a homeowner home. They took off in this car. The first unit overhead was a sheriff's airship, a helicopter, who spotted this black BMW taking off out of this neighborhood at high speed. They made the call. We think this is the burglary suspects, and that's when the chase began.
I mean, talk about traumatizing. You're waking up for the morning and you hear someone in your house and you see somebody breaking in, burglarizing your home, and then just taking off. So, yeah, so hard to see. And right now, we know CHP is the lead agency when it comes to this investigation, or this pursuit, rather. But, you know, this pursuit is bound to come to an end soon, you would think, because, I mean, that backup is only getting worse, Tina, and just watching him move in and out of cars, I don't know if the left side of the freeway is the best place to be.
No, and it feels like a few times he has gotten near the off-ramp where you think that maybe that driver, he or she, might get off and just give themselves more options, but they're seeming to stay on the 210. Remember, at one point, it started in the city of Walnut. We saw them go north on the 605, then east on the 210, got off and
it's going so fast.
In San Dimas, and then kind of went into this direction, which is where we see the majority of traffic at this time of the morning. So putting themselves in this this situation with all the traffic, we don't know if they're familiar with this area, if they're familiar with the roads, if they're staying on the freeway because they don't know where they would go if they got off the roads. But it seems like a couple of times we thought that it might go onto side streets and then kind of stayed there on the freeway. And
I think, you know, he might just try to be figuring out what the best move and option for him is at that very second. But he's on the shoulder right there, and you know, that's definitely not good for the car and, you know, for the tires as well. But looks like we're coming up to a little bit of a backup right now. He's
you guys
slowing
want
down.
Double screen or just one screen?
This is probably the slowest speeds that we've seen in a long time. I mean, just watching him on the shoulder going 60+ miles per hour is outrageous. But, you know, now he's slowing down. And it looks like the reason why he got out of the shoulder was because there was that construction sign. So obviously he or she doesn't want to hit that sign.
Maybe one screen?
And, so they're aware of what's in front of them. But he's weaving in and out of the shoulder. And if that is the case and construction is coming up here on the 210, then that's going to cause more backups, and it's going to make it harder for this driver who is doing whatever he or she can to try to escape. But as you can see right there, cannot be on the shoulder because of all of the construction.
I'm going to do one, but I'll put the vote. I'll put a vote. We'll do a poll.
For authorities trying to get this person to pull over. But the slowest speeds that we've seen so far, 20 miles per hour, this person is having to slow it down a little bit because of what we're known for, traffic.
And again, we are believing that there might be two people in this car. At least we were hearing the original call was that there was possible burglary in the city of Walnut. A homeowner heard what he thought was two people inside his home. And then shortly after that, we saw this car taking off from the neighborhood. So it's very possible there's two people inside that car. We don't know if they're armed, but obviously breaking into a home that's occupied, brazen behavior, and then getting in the car and driving like this, you know, very bold. And so that's why law enforcement has to be so careful with how they approach and try to stop this.
Do we know what city they're in right now, Mark? Is this Irwindale?
It looks like now that driver is getting off of the freeway, or maybe just getting onto another freeway. The speeds, of course, a little bit less as we're going over. They were getting right back on the 605. That's kind of where we started earlier.
All right, so I'm going to keep up one screen for now. I don't know what the votes are at. I'm going to keep up one screen for now, but if a better angle comes up or something like that, then we just switch. So this started out, I guess, as a home invasion. I'm glad I switched to the other feed. Thanks to the plug for that link to hear a little bit more context and more details. And they're saying there's possibly two people in this vehicle, and this person's been driving like a maniac, like a psychopath, like one of these YouTubers. Teammaker says, that's what I'm talking about, cracking early. Thank you so much. Raging Cajun over 1K watching, hit the like button. Yeah, please, if you guys can hit the like button. We're going to listen to Stu here for a little bit.
Especially with the more modern vehicles. He's moving along. You can see it right there, 70 miles an hour. He basically made his way back over to the fast lane, pretty much just kind of blending in with traffic, maybe a little faster.
I'm starting to feel a pre-workout too now. Just quick.
Down there. Law enforcement,
empty stomach.
They have reacquired it, so they are making the calls right now. And They're just kind of following along. If he's going to be driving like this, there's a good possibility that it is a little bit of a common
72% say one
They're
screen.
They're just going to keep an eye on him. They're going to follow along. Once he gets off the freeway, that's when they're going to start making their moves. But the Sheriff's Department definitely not letting this one go. We've seen them in the past where they've just said too dangerous, the reason for the chase, not worth the risk, and they've just let him go. This case, they have not. They are staying here. They're keeping an eye on it. They are talking and assisting the California Highway Patrol. So it is multi-agency right now.
Multi-agency. This is serious.
It's basically just law enforcement trying to get a bad guy off the road safely without anybody getting injured.
Well,
again, right now, southbound
different locations too.
Making our way back to basically where we picked this up.
I'm gonna tell you.
He was on Valley. Valley Boulevard seemed to be in his favorite, but we were listening as we were making our way out here as Sky Fox was joining that chase. So we'll see where he goes. Right now, as long as he stays on the freeway, not running any red lights, not going through any of those intersections, makes me a little bit calmer. That vehicle definitely really slowing down, and I'm wondering if he's trying to blend in or possibly there might be something wrong with that car.
The pre-workout, it's Bucked Up LFG. Hoax. I'm gonna send you the name in the chat.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we're making our way back. That's what we can say. We drove away from where we started. We know that robbery happened in Walnut. Technically, I guess we're making our way back to the Walnut area. So maybe he lives nearby. Who knows what the circumstances were? But right now, starting to pick up some of those speeds again, using that right lane, which he seems to be his favorite. And a lot of traffic here, southbound 605 this morning, making our way back over to the 60. That BMW is starting to use that emergency lane and really starting to pick up some speed again. So he must know that he's being followed. And again, who knows? He might have been on the cell phone. Those tinted windows, really, really tough for us to see what's going on in there. A lot of times we'll see the suspect using
illegal
the phone,
tints,
possibly making some phone calls, maybe trying to make some sort of plan. But right now, the tinted windows making it very difficult. But Araxia, you brought it up, I think, about other people in that vehicle. You just got to think, if there's more than one person in there, the other person has got to say, "What are you doing? I don't want to die in a car accident. Let's just pull over or stop and let me out or something." So I'm guessing possibly, more than likely, just one person in that car, hard all the way over to the left lane right there, and continuing.
I don't know if Stu knows about the two people or if he's mentioned the home invasion yet, but the other broadcast said that they believe this is connected to a home invasion where the person had heard multiple people talking, unless that other person left in a different vehicle. But if it was me, man, and we slowed down, it was traffic, and I was the passenger, I'd probably jump out. I was like, this crazy motherfucker is going to kill us. I'd jump out if I had a moment and chance.
When they just the vehicle runs out of gas, that just comes to a stop, and then we see those suspects getting. Jesus, why did you?
Damn.
Oh, that's why you did that.
My.
Had a car stopped in the emergency lane. Somebody was actually using the emergency lane for what it was used for. Did a hard turn right there. Thank goodness nobody got hurt. And again, continuing on, basically really picking up speeds again. 70 miles an hour. You can see how he's just zipping by all these other cars out there. So traffic's probably moving about 30 miles an hour this morning. Southbound 605, making our way back over to the 60. That's where we picked it up. I'm looking out the window. If he's going to take the 60, he's got to get over. Right now, it looks like he's pretty well established in that left lane, and just continuing on at high speeds. Law enforcement in the air, making
amazing.
Calls. California Highway Patrol, they know about it. How to stop it? That seems to be the issue right now.
Ooh.
Well, no real presence, and you got to look at it. I mean, it's like that's the bad guy right there. He doesn't have any rules. He doesn't have any kind of parameters that he has to work with. He can just basically, he or she can just do what they want. And law enforcement, they have to follow the rules. And again, we've talked about it. Safety, that's the biggest concern. And parameters that he has to work, pushing their way through traffic. There was a motorcycle right there. They're not going to push their way through traffic. It looks like they're not going to drop off the. Oh no, we're definitely just transition onto the 60 freeway. 10. We're on the 10. So
I just want to make a quick transition.
So making our way onto the
same
10
thing,
right
but just
now,
want to.
And we're going to be heading westbound on the 10. And again, just making these wild moves, trying to push your way through that traffic. But one of the reasons why law enforcement not here is because of that dangerous driving. It's just not safe for them to stay there behind them or to make that effort and put other people's lives at risk. So that guy is running right now. They had a helicopter above it. They are aware of what's going on. They're making their calls. I can tell you there's probably officers all along the route ahead of him, basically just conveniently being in the area. If they're California Highway Patrol or other law enforcement, they're all aware of what's going on, and they all want to be there when this comes to an end.
Bro, this pre-workout, I think it's better alanine that it has in there. I'm starting to feel like the tingles and shit. I didn't know this chase was going to keep going like this. Well, it's only been 25 minutes.
Eastbound 10, yes. I'm sorry about that. I kind of glad it was covered by.
Start sweating soon.
We're definitely on the eastbound 10 freeway right now, so we are making our. Actually, it's the westbound 10. It's definitely the westbound 10. I'm looking out the window.
Sober October, but I'm feeling like I'm on some shit.
So we're definitely on the westbound 10. The map might be a little off because of where we're looking, because he's in that carpool lane. Yeah, so we're definitely on the westbound 10 right now. So we got California Highway Patrol. They have their helicopter above it. The Sheriff's Department here as well. They're working
I'm not gonna
together.
Leave. I'm not gonna leave.
And again,
I'm gonna be here.
They are basically just trying to get. It's like a chess game. They're just trying to stay a couple of moves ahead of the bad guy. So when this comes to an end, they'll have law enforcement there to render aid and or just take this person into custody. Speed's really starting.
Some people don't like the tingles.
We're making our way on the westbound 10, making our way through the
so I can show you a picture
area right now. Speeds and the freeway. I'm going to stay a little bit wider. It is pretty wide open there. And this would be a spot where some California Highway Patrol, sorry about that, could basically get behind it, make their
LFG burn.
But right now, maybe they're just not available. But this vehicle just kind of blending in with traffic. It's not
plant-based.
Carpool lane, 72 miles an hour through
Are those
the
good?
area.
I wonder what it would be like to try plant-based pre-workout. Is it like, I don't know, drinking tea or something? Is it just like super chill? It's like nothing happens? Plant-based. I mean, they can do plant-based caffeine and stuff, but I don't know about all the other. I mean, caffeine is plant-based, isn't it? But then they have synthetic caffeine, though, so I don't know. Maybe they'd make sure everything's like natural or whatever, right? Where do they get caffeine from? Don't they get caffeine from plants or something? Or you can get it from green tea. With different sources, right? Caffeine is naturally found in
Oh, definitely. And a lot of times,
fruit, leaves, and beans of coffee. Cocoa, guarana. Oh, that guarana stuff is also in the pre-workouts too. That's how you say it.
The scenes, they're moving people around. They're trying to, like you said, seeing if this is a registered vehicle, where it's registered to. Is that person the driver? Could it be the driver? They'll have some information
Andrew, thank you so much.
as well. They're doing all those things to keep the public safe, to keep their officers safe, and to bring this to an end in the smartest way, not just the quickest way. They just, if they can just follow this guy back to a location, they'll do that. They'll actually might even have law enforcement around the corner, so that when they show up, they'll just kind of pull into the driveway and officer.
Thierry said cocaine is plant based. It's true. Hey, I'm being healthy, man. I'm being healthy. Yo, Andrew, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. I've done a plant based before, and thank you for doing these streams, Mel. Thank you. Appreciate that. I might have to try that sometime. I like trying different pre-workouts. A lot of times it's disappointing. This one is actually really strong.
Mellowed. And there is a little bit more spacing out here on the roadway, and it's not that
Poppy
tight
seeds.
packed traffic. But right now, their venture is they're following in the air. They're making their calls. They're getting their ducks in a row. That suspect continues to drive westbound. At least he has kept the speeds under 100 miles an hour.
Diggs, good morning. What's up? That's that Jazz Mo. I wonder where Miyu is. Miyu's going to wake up and realize the chase. She missed the chase.
Yep, we've actually had that in the past as well. They've actually made phone
last week, I
calls
think,
to
got a
their
haircut.
cell phones, which is pretty amazing, that technology and the ability to do something like that. I'm just getting information from Jeff that actually the California Highway Patrol actually brought their fixed wing, so they actually have an airplane above this as well. That airplane has almost the same type of camera as Skyfox does, so they'll be able to take a peek and keep an eye on it, and possibly the reason why that plane is here is also just to keep an eye on where that vehicle is. The helicopter definitely going to be more maneuverable, going to be able to stay a little bit lower. All these
they got an airplane on them.
Getting the guys on the ground, heads up where they're going, where they're going to be. I'm looking out the window. Of course, we've got the map out there, but we are making our way into the East LA area, 710 freeway, not too far away, but the pursuit definitely continues. Now more of a following, as there is no black and white behind it, no reds and blues flashing. And I saw him make that turn there, and it does look like he's starting to blend into traffic. Possibly the 710 might be his choice.
All right, let's listen into a little bit, see if they got anything new.
Yeah, and you have decades of experience in law enforcement. So, kind of put us into the perspective of law enforcement. What are some of the biggest challenges that they're facing right now in trying to put an end to this pursuit?
Right now, it's just safety. They want, as well as anybody, they want to get these two suspects into custody and charge them with these crimes. So it's just a matter of the safest way right now is just to have, like he said, that you have 4 air units up above. So, the one of the air units or 2 of the air units will take the driver and 2 will take the passenger, however they have it played out. And they'll just be sure to get, when this comes to termination point, they'll get them into custody. If they start to head more towards downtown, or more towards different areas, then that's where they're going to want to be in the area or parallel in the area, so that when they do football or they go into a parking garage or any of the other things.
Yeah, and it looks like, sorry to interrupt you, it looks like he blew a tire. I can't tell. Our producer just told us. Phil, is it the left or is it the front or the back? Oh, the back left blew a tire. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time, literally, until this driver, comes to an end. But, O'Malley, when you talk about this and the fact that he has blown a tire, how much longer can this person go? Because it's only a matter of time before the other tires get blown as well.
Well, he's in a pretty advanced technology vehicle. BMW. Some of them have those run flat tires. They have different types of tires. Very powerful cars. So as you can see so far, he's missing one tire completely, but he's still up above 70 miles an hour and appears to have control of the vehicle. So the key would be to try to get all of them flattened, deflated, and then just see how.
Yeah, I'm feeling almost nauseous now off of that pre-workout. Holy crap!
Or how this suspect was driving on a morning like this when everybody's going to work and going to school is on the freeway. So
and we're now seeing the motorcycle officer trailing him pretty closely. We've had the black and the whites. Obviously, the motorcycle officers are able to maneuver a little bit easier when it comes to traffic, but.
And you see our chopper trying to get on the other side so you can get a better look. It's still hard to see with the car moving so quickly. That back tire is what we believe that we saw kind of flying up when he was going. And now it looks like maybe he might be getting off of the freeway now, maybe because of that tire, trying to feel like maybe he can have more control. But there is a motorcycle unit that's not too far behind now.
What they're going to do?
And again, it does look like he is getting off of the 10. He was on the 10 westbound, heading towards the downtown area. This is, of course, the area where there's a number of freeways kind of coming together there. So we're trying to see exactly where he is going.
It definitely looked like it was just the driver in that vehicle. But take a look at this car. He's rolling around 3 tires and 4 rims, and still driving at 50 miles an hour. And making his way onto the 710, I believe, to get a little bit wider.
A passenger side,
At least he's staying on the freeway, so he doesn't have to do
much motorcycles. Man.
Hard braking. But again, California Highway Patrol choosing.
They got helicopters. They got an airplane in the air. They got motorcycles, police cars. Well, they had police cars earlier. Nobody does chases like Cali, man. That's for sure. They got all kinds of shit.
On that rim right now, and at 70 miles an hour down the 710.
Man, look at that shit. Woo, you hot. And for the people that are just joining, apparently there was some sort of this started with like a home invasion, they believe, where people broke into the house. The homeowner allegedly had said that they had heard multiple voices, but they're claiming they believe there's only one person in this car. It's kind of hard to tell. Stu said one person. The other network said maybe two people in here, and they've just been on this crazy ass chase. We're going up to 100 miles an hour. I guess they've slowed down because of the tire. I still can't really tell. They said the tire was out. The only one that looks like it might be out is this front passenger side, but I can't even really tell. It looks like it might be out. I don't know.
That's going to be a plus, but as soon as he starts doing those hard braking, hard turns, that rim will start to crumble, and that's just going to bring this car to a stop. Hopefully that's going to happen sooner than later. As we're continuing now southbound, 710 freeway, East Los Angeles area. Sorry, I did not. I lost him there for a second. We'll see him here just in a moment. There he is.
Somebody said go eat something. I don't want to go eat because I'm going to go work out. I like to do it on an empty stomach if possible.
That's what I was trying to do, but we keep losing him here behind these overpass. I got to get Jeff to get a little bit more over. Yes, you have two officers behind him and also now a cruiser as well. With that vehicle, missing that whole wheel and just running on that rim, hopefully that's going to bring this thing to an end sooner. But right now, as long as he's not hitting those brakes, as long as we're not seeing sparks off of that rim is going to hold for quite some time. Again, California Highway Patrol definitely in pursuit. You've got one cruiser back there and then a couple of motorcycles. Traffic, it is starting to get a little bit thicker out here, but it's not what we saw earlier on. And again, with that wheel, with that tire missing, it's going to be really difficult for him to make those maneuvers that we saw earlier on. Right now, though, California Highway Patrol, you've got that cruiser right there, and you can see him. Yeah, he's getting closer, but he can't really do much. The only thing he can do is that command presence, kind of just let him know, hey, I'm right behind you. You can see me, and just bring this to an end before somebody gets hurt. I'm not sure. It's definitely a transition, and it's definitely going to be really, really slow as we make our way southbound out here, and we'll get you.
They're moving out the way too. Damn.
5.
Yeah, it looks like maybe just one person, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I don't know. Zoom in. Let's get a facial recognition. I wonder what must go through the mind of these people when they're, especially on a chase like this with multiple helicopters, police cars, motorcycles.
Yes.
I'm sure he doesn't know there's a plane on him too. You think 2 people?
He's not. Yeah. Yeah. And it definitely looks like I was really pushing in there. If there's somebody in the backseat, which I would find to be unusual, but we've seen very unusual things here, it looks like he's in the front there by himself, nobody in the passenger seat, but continuing to just drive along out here, those high speeds and maneuverability. Might have just tapped that Prius a little bit, probably not because it didn't stop, but definitely getting to some thick traffic out here. We're on the 5 freeway. It's always a lot of traffic out here, but as soon as he starts hitting those brakes and starting to start and stop, that rim's going to start coming apart, and then that is going to bring this thing to an end. Hopefully it will just be something like that. I really like to see this driver just coming to a stop. I don't think he's going to, though. It really seems like his plan is he thinks he can get away for some reason. How often have we seen that? Usually not. I would say that there's been 1 or 2, but in this case, you've got that rim. You're down to the rim. Big BMW, morning traffic, all these eyes on you. My guess is you just pull over. Just pull over right now. Yeah.
And I thought they just let these people go anyway in California. What's the point in adding more charges?
Whoa,
No. Oh, and he just pushed him and kept going.
Yeah, and and he just kept on going. These
pushing.
BMWs, I don't want to sound like that guy, but these BMWs are very, very solid. It is a big solid car. It weighs a lot, has a big engine in it, a lot of power, and you just saw it just push that.
He just pushed right through,
just kind of out of the way. He basically got in front of it. The suspect did basically a pit maneuver on that person that just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But now just keeping going, he is picking up a little bit of speed out here. I'm kind of wondering if the California Highway Patrol he is still right there behind him. I'm sure they probably have another unit that's going to be assisting that vehicle that just basically got pitted out there. But this suspect continuing on out here, a little bit higher.
He pit maneuvered the car.
Again, I just can't say it enough. I just want to see this thing come to an end, just to a stop. And that suspect, though, I hate to say it, it really seems senseless. You're not going to get away. It's going to come to an end. Why are you causing all these problems? Why are you putting so many people's lives at risk? So far, we've just had some damage, but still, that person just driving to work today or maybe taking their kids to school, and now they have this to deal with.
These people don't really get in trouble. He should have just taken the robbery charge or whatever, or just, whatever. Now he's going to have all these other charges. So it'd probably take a day or two to get out now. Yeah. Well, depending on what happens too, what else he does,
There we go. It's back. Yeah. Yes, I got you guys. If you're not hearing me.
I really think if this was Florida, they would have stopped this because
Yes, sir. There's a passenger? Okay.
Who in the chat was saying it was a second person? That person was right. I thought I saw one or two people.
Come
on, Stu, get it out.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oof.
Maybe they have the idea that this is the safest route for them right now. With the vehicle being damaged, I don't understand the mentality of I'm going to get away. You're not. If he has a destination in mind, where is he going? We've been driving for quite some time. We're getting some information now, unconfirmed. Is a passenger in the front seat. Earlier on, maybe if the opportunity arises, we'll try to look through
what
that
was
front
that?
window
Something come
again.
off?
Is now we're hearing that there's two people in that vehicle, and when this comes to something else just came out of the car. I wonder if they just threw something out. They're throwing things out of the vehicle right there. It looks like paperwork and things like that. So I'm going to see if we can get Skyfox back up onto the other side so we can see that passenger side. Definitely makes me believe that there are two people inside that vehicle.
Okay.
Seeing as stuff is coming out of the car. Now, if that was evidence possibly of the crime, that was, again, is one of those things. They'll just pick it up. Everybody's seeing this right now. There's plenty of video evidence that it's coming out of the car. So right now, this pursuit continuing on. We're southbound on the 5, Montebello area. I'm sorry, in the Southgate. Still continuing to be very pushy, just kind of pushing his way through this. A lot of these other vehicles here. We've seen a couple of contact, that one where he spun that car around. I hope that person is okay. I can't imagine any kind of serious injury. But again, this BMW continuing to move along here on the right lane now. 3 tires, 4 rims, and a driver seeming to be very desperate, or at least trying to prove a point this morning. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. I can't say that enough. Looks like...
Ooh, he's kind of...
maybe we're going to get an off-ramp here. No, that's just dust from the
he's picking up
from the emergency lane. But it looks. Oh, I thought maybe we're going to be getting on an off ramp right there, but we are definitely not. So this car continuing moving along here, 60 miles an hour, lesser traffic, just going about probably 30 or 40.
I remember
Yeah, just spun it around, and that's what I'm saying. I'm hopeful that that driver might have injuries, but probably nothing life-threatening. That car just basically spinning around right there, facing the wrong way. We don't know. Hopefully nobody else collided with it afterwards. This BMW now kind of blending a little bit into traffic. I got to get Jeff to get us a little bit more over it. I don't want to lose it behind a sound wall here, but we saw this. Now we believe that there's two people in the vehicle, at least two. Somebody was throwing some things out of that car. Don't know if that's a distraction.
That's a good question, Coyote.
Get rid of some of the evidence.
I don't know, yeah.
During that burglary, but still taking these very dangerous maneuvers. I hope that the driver's plan is not to bump into somebody and create a problem, because he seems to be getting very, very close to some of these other vehicles. But definitely something else just coming off there. So maybe the car is starting to come apart. If that's happening, that's good, because it'll help bring this thing to an end. Right now, though, still very dangerous. A lot of other folks out there on the roadway, they don't know what's going on, but the driver is really starting to get aggressive, and now he's starting to hit the brakes. We need to get onto the other side.
Ooh. Look at the smoke. Is that from the tire that's kind of worn off? Or is that just from hitting the brake? Hitting the brakes again. This is traffic. And look, the bumper's coming off too. Looks like starting to, or the, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like.
Oh, what's that? Something else came up.
Come apart here. Pieces are coming apart. He's starting to get a little wobbly. He needs to slow this thing down before this becomes something other than what we're seeing right now. Definitely that wheel's starting to come apart. Eventually, as soon as you start hitting those brakes, you know that rim is going to start coming apart. Once a piece comes off, there it goes.
Oh,
there it goes.
shoot.
There it goes. So he's going to lose his front wheel. And
right next to a truck too.
Trying to push this car.
Yeah, how's it going? How is it still going?
We're gonna clean this shot up, but
I've never seen a rim
that wheel is
come apart like that.
Off the spindle and wrapped around there, and he is still driving at freeway speeds. Just pushing
he needs to stop that shit though. That car's gonna
thing until the car stops. Hopefully he doesn't push this thing into somebody else's vehicle.
He's not even slowing down. He's not even touching the brakes.
Well,
not even touching the brakes.
Screaming inside there. I can imagine what the noise is. It sounds like in there, but you can totally see that wheel just wrapped around that front there, and this vehicle speeds continue on. Now he's behind that big rig.
This dude doing this next to a semi truck.
He should just pull this thing over, try to bring it to a stop. California Highway Patrol close by. But definitely, this is not what we wanted to see this morning.
They need to shoot him or something. Get a sniper. Oh, my God. Look at that. I have never seen a rim come apart like that before.
It's going to have to stop. Yeah, and hopefully this isn't going to turn out to be some sort of standoff. I'm wondering if they have any information that these people were armed in any way. I'm going to get a little bit wider shot right now just in case he has to stop and we won't be able to see it. But right now, that the car definitely coming apart.
Look at this shit. You think the car's going to catch on fire?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Bro, and this guy, hasn't even slowed down. He hasn't even touched the brake. If anything, he's sped up, it seems like. He's going faster with the rim messed up and coming off.
Yeah. And, he's just grinding it down. Hopefully it'll start getting to the point where, he'll lose something important, very important, like an oil pan. Start losing that oil. That engine will come to a stop, or possibly the vehicle starting to overheat, getting pushed so hard. But right now you can see this car still rolling around here. Three tires. That's it. That front wheel is actually probably hindering that driving, if anything else. I can't imagine that he has any kind of solid maneuverability as this continues on. Southbound 5 freeway. And at speeds, like you said, I was shocked. I was actually just, I was doing the camera there. I was shocked when you said the speed. I looked up and I was like, oh my God, this guy is really going 70 miles
an
hour.
There we
go. The rim totally gone now. Completely gone.
He's still
now he's rolling
going.
on 3 wheels. And that actually might have given him a little bit more maneuverability, but it's not going to give him any stopping power, and it's definitely not going to give him any kind of ability to make a sharp turn, as in getting off the freeway. California Highway Patrol joining in again right there, and it's a lot more smoke coming out of it, probably because he's trying to brake. I'm going to get Jeff to get us away from the sound wall as we're making our way off the freeway there. probably the best bet, but I'm really wondering what is he going to do
what's
when
he
he
gonna
gets to the
do?
bottom of the freeway. He's not going to have any kind of braking power, and I'm wondering if this car is going to even continue afterwards.
Look at that. Yeah, he's losing. He can't really. He's still turning though. He's still maneuvering it a bit.
Right on his tail.
Is he going to make a turn?
This would be the time to do the pit maneuver if they were going to be, if they could do it. And it looks like we're just going to be getting back
on the highway.
Freeway.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm speechless. I'm completely speechless.
I've never seen something like this before. 3 wheels and going, still going. I've seen him on the rim going, but I never seen the whole rim like disintegrate and come off, and the person's still going at high speeds. What in the hell?
Bizarre, and it just gets stranger and stranger. That car continues to move along. The freeway seems to be kind of open, like maybe they did some sort of traffic break. They could do a pit maneuver at high speed.
Maybe they're going to take him out, yeah.
The LAPD do it at 50 miles an hour one time on a freeway that did roll over the vehicle. But maybe that's part of their plan, is maybe they can clear out the freeway. They may make their way over there and then basically be a little bit more aggressive. This vehicle continues to go 70, 80 miles an hour. It is definitely on 3 wheels. That the car is definitely grinding every now and then. It's just the chassis just bottoming out whenever they hit a bump or anything. The wobbling is what worries me, because I just don't want to see them lose control and hit other folks just driving to work this morning.
What a morning. What a way to... Holy crap.
Yep. It could be. That rear bumper definitely hanging off the back there. Probably not too much of a problem, but I'm wondering the stuff that's coming out from the front, the rim coming apart, those pieces might have taken out the rear passenger as well, the rear passenger tire. Let's be clear with that. But this car continuing, this driver just keeps on pushing it. Look at the freeway though. Look at the freeway.
Yeah, it's emptied up.
That's not morning traffic for sure. I'm sure they have basically moved some of or did a traffic break. You have some cars out there right now, but California Highway Patrol, they're getting up very, very close to it. Hopefully they'll be able to do some sort of pit maneuver, bring this thing to an end. I have a feeling that if this car does spin around, even though it is a big BMW and you can clearly see rolling around on 3 wheels, grinding that chassis down, it's still going. Maybe that kind of spinning it around will stall the motor and it may not restart. But right now, 2 people in that car, as we understand it, and this pursuit continues.
Oh, they're pressing up. They're pushing up.
But it is not over.
They're pushing up. He touched the brake a little bit too. I wonder if it's going to be a standoff too, because these people seem very...
Jeff, can we get to the other side? All right, I hear you.
Determined.
Can we just go to like Fullerton? All right. Well, whatever we're getting close to. Yes. A lot of smoke coming out of that car, and a lot of parts still flying out of the front of it. Once that wheel was gone, you're basically down to the you're down to the hub, and you got pieces flying off, and it's like it just hit that other car right there. I'm sure a lot of that stuff is not plastic.
This is not good, bro.
A lot of pieces of metal. That's going to be a lot of that hub.
What happens with that whole chassis thing wears off? I mean, is there parts of the car that's going to hit the ground and stuff? Like, could this thing explode or something? Erupt in fire?
See, this is a reason why I didn't want to get over here, because if we did,
they need to. Let's see. They're pushing up on him.
Wall, but right now he's still continuing on. This is going to be one of those spots.
They're trying to get him. I think they're trying to pit him. Oh, he's not gonna. He can't keep going
through. But okay. All right, staying on the road, not getting on the freeway, that's a big plus.
On 3 wheels!
I was surprised as well. This is this older BMW. These are great cars. We've seen them in a lot of movies. There's a reason why a lot of diplomats were picking these vehicles back in the day, and this is probably one of the reasons why. But right now, this car is in the wrong hands, doing the wrong things, and law enforcement just wants to bring it to a stop before he collides.
Literally
with somebody,
pieces flying off.
Injury to somebody else.
Disintegrating.
Wrong side of the road.
Oh my God!
Going the wrong way. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez.
This is gonna be. Ugh.
it's amazing that this thing is just keeping on going. Right now, we're getting.
Oh, he's not gonna be able to do this turn. He can do this turn. I mean, it's a wide turn,
this
but
would be a spot, of course, behind the trees would be a spot where they could be able to do
they're
that
trying.
maneuver.
They're trying.
But he definitely that driver knows. That driver somehow knew. He started really speeding up as he made his way back onto the freeway.
Wow.
Out here. Now we're on to 91. I also
that's a screenshot right there.
That, Skyfox is running out of fuel, and I don't want to say that, but it is what it is.
I got other feeds, so don't worry.
If we
I got other
feeds.
feeds.
This direction, we're going to be getting this closer to some other airports. But right now, though, you can definitely see this vehicle coming apart. That front wheel being held on by pieces, and that's a part of it too.
That's about to come off too.
Apart at these speeds on the freeway, and a big chunk of that comes off. That could hurt some people as well. There goes the rear bumper.
I want to see this guy's face. You got to be completely batshit crazy to be hauling ass, not even slowing down like this. The thing is literally falling apart. Imagine what this person's like in real life. What his relationships are like. With his family, his friends. Holy crap.
Yeah, drive it till the wheels fall off. This guy is taking that to the actual literal meaning. Right now, it looks like we're getting back off onto an off-ramp, more parts of the car coming off there. That front wheel, I'm surprised the rim is still there. I thought it had fallen off. It's just basically sideways about halfway, but at least up to the hub right now. Still continuing on. This vehicle just, and every time he hits those bumps, yeah. Yep, he's got his foot in it, and he's got 3 wheels, and he is definitely going to drive this thing till all the wheels fall off. There,
it's coming. It's coming. He might lose control.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, it's still holding on.
Yep.
I wonder if it's like wedged.
You just got to kind of wonder what California Highway Patrol. I mean, these guys want to bring this thing to an end. More pieces coming apart. At least he's off to the side, and if it happens over here, it'll just go off the roadway. But when he's out there with in traffic, and that starts happening like that, that rim coming off at 80 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, that could be a real problem for anybody that might be nearby. Continuing on there, some of those big rigs passing him. It looks like, I wonder if the car just keeps pulling off to the right. I mean, it just because he's missing all those parts. Yeah, definitely. There we go. And pit him.
Yeah, you got it.
Do it
right now.
I'm sorry. He
didn't do it.
He almost had that opportunity right
there. There's other
Even
cars
at those
there.
Speeds,
It's traffic.
You know they want to bring this thing to an end, but they have to be safe, and they have to keep the safety of the officers in mind and the suspect. I can't clarify that enough. These officers are, they are thinking about the safety of that lunatic behind the wheel, and right now it's swerving around. Yep.
I keep imagining this guy losing control by a semi truck.
That is true, especially with now we're back in traffic, but it looks like, let's see if he's going to try to use that off ramp, but it's definitely in the emergency lane. I'm wondering if he slides off the roadway, that might disable the vehicle in a way where, if he gets stuck in the dirt, maybe he just can't go. But right now, still continuing on and making his way. Looks like we're going to. I'm just getting a little bit farther ahead to see if we have an off ramp. Yeah, see if he uses that off ramp once again. I don't know. Jeff, they're asking for when we really have to leave.
Shit.
Okay.
Just keep flying, man.
We have another solid 10 as long as we stay around Long Beach.
Trying to run the chopper to the end of the gas too.
This car just falling apart. And this is actually the good side of the car, as it would be. The other side is the one that really has all the damage on it. Continuing on, this is I have to poke a little fun at it every now and then, but it really is very, very dangerous this morning. And there's so many close calls out here. Thank goodness, we haven't seen any serious injuries. But this driver continuing to push this car, trying to to get away, he's not going to get away. But right now, if something was in front of him and he had to brake hard, I find it hard to believe that that vehicle could stop in a timely manner. And that's really what I'm concerned about. And I'm sure a lot of the law enforcement watching as well are thinking that same
The sunroof open?
91 freeway, you can see it right there. Speeds 50 miles an hour.
Was that open the entire time?
The vehicle's probably going about 30. This one clearly disabled and still getting very, very close to a lot of these other cars. I'm surprised the blinker still works on that BMW.
I wonder if they got their seatbelts on in there.
Jesus. They're right there. They're right there, yeah. Yeah, they're right there. The lights and sirens are definitely going to be helping the situation. You can see the California Highway Patrol, they have the advantage right now. That officer is slowing down every now and then speeding up when needed.
Let's go.
When safe. That's probably the better way
pressure
to
on
say
his
it.
ass.
When safe.
I don't know if
More
that's
parts
helping,
of that rim just flying off and probably hitting a lot of these other vehicles right there. Again, you know, people at home might be like, oh, you got a chip in your paint, big deal. I like my car. I don't want to have any chips in my paint. And, you know, and this guy just kind of just flying through there. More and more parts just keep flying off of the car as he's passing all these vehicles.
Uh-oh.
Is something to watch for sure. And California Highway Patrol, I'm sure they're thinking almost the same thing. Maybe they're just hoping that look at all that stuff coming off of it. So
yeah, that the whole I don't know, bottom of the car scraping.
Definitely, and I'm sure that what we're seeing is parts of that rim. I thought that whole rim had come off earlier on, but it was still there, and it looks like it. Here we go. It maybe the car is starting to give up. There's the rest of the bumper. There's the rest of the bumper.
Ooh, yeah, it's slowing down.
It looks like he's trying to push his way through.
Wow.
Continuing on.
It's
Let's
incredible.
See what the, law enforcement. You see, law enforcement, they have to follow the rules. They have to be safe. What happened? Oh no.
He stopped.
I thought maybe he hit hit that bar there on the truck. This would be the time.
Yo, they should have pressed him right there. I mean, there's other cars, but they should have. They're gonna try right now. They're gonna try right now. Oh my God! How do you miss that? They're gonna try again.
And, you know, those maneuvers, they look so easy and so simple when we watch.
You got to watch for all the traffic too, I guess.
These guys are highly trained. They have to do it right at the right moment, and they have to stay safe. But you can see that they're aggressively trying when the opportunity appears.
I mean, it's
that driver,
moving traffic.
That CHP officer
so
definitely going to get a gold star
when
he gets back to base today for at least for effort, trying and keeping up with him. If he gets off the freeway, I think that CHP officer is going to be very aggressive and try to do that pit maneuver.
Be gangster if they had the grappler.
I think we were there a while ago. We passed that point. That's the point of no return. This BMW keeps on driving. It's amazing that the other tires are holding on. That front one, don't know how he lost it, but at least he did. And again, California Highway Patrol right on this tail right there. It's had to slow down.
That's tough. That's tough.
Some safety issues.
Look at this car.
He had a cone.
Oh,
so that definitely means that there is some construction coming up. I'm wondering if the emergency lane might be closed out here. If it is, that might create some more problems for that driver. But right now, I'm kind of hoping.
And imagine what the inside of that car sounds like. He was talking earlier, like all the grinding and the rim. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Be able to do that.
The sunroof open.
As long as he's around those other vehicles, they're not going to be able to do it because they don't want that vehicle spinning out into somebody else's
He's
car
trying,
or
man. The
property.
cop's trying. He's
so
trying.
Right now, continuing on.
It's tough.
63 miles an hour. Older BMW, 7 Series, on that emergency lane. California Highway Patrol right behind him.
Damn, look at that. He went right in between.
Look at all that smoke coming out the bottom. He has got to be bottomed out. He has got to be bottomed out. All that heat being created. There's got to be some oil. I'm surprised something hasn't caught fire as already underneath.
Oh, Jesus.
Underneath that car.
I'm ready to switch when I got to. I'm ready to switch this shit.
Yep, he did open up the sunroof, but a lot more smoke coming out of the bottom of the car. Hopefully that thing is going to, yep, maybe he's starting to get smoke inside the car. That could be as well because of all, something's definitely changing right there. Something is definitely changing. Here we go.
Yeah, he's losing control. Here we go. It's a wrap.
Oh,
I told you, semi. He's so lucky that's how that happened.
And doors open.
Look. Really this crazy motherfucker.
Oh.
Get his ass. Run his ass over.
Okay.
Get these bitches. These crazy motherfuckers.
We were asked by law enforcement to keep an eye on the passenger. So
look at this guy.
Keep an eye on this guy.
Oh, he's yielding the traffic while he's running.
While the California Highway Patrol is, if I can keep an eye on both of them, I definitely will. But
where are they going? They're not going those high walls. Where are they running to?
I got on the other side of the freeway. Jeff,
we need to get hop the wall.
Yeah, we need to get over to the.
Shit.
Yeah, we're moving Skyfox the best we can.
Please. And they only got 10 minutes.
To get away. I hope they don't try to carjack anybody. That's
yo,
what I'm about right there. You know, there he goes. That's the driver. I don't know what happened to the other guy. Yeah,
he's trying to take a car. He's hoping to try to. Oh, he's trying to pretend he's hitchhiking. What's he doing?
Which is, they're both right there.
They got him. What kind of bullshit is that?
There we go. Oh, there's law enforcement. Hello.
Yeah. Bring out the guns. Yeah. Bring the canines too. Let the canines chew their ass up. Yo, these people.
It looks like he has some sort of injury to his hand. Looks like he hurt his hand somehow.
These people have no regard for life.
Definitely.
These people are pieces of shit. I mean, how many people they could have killed on the way driving like that? They could have killed themselves. That's semi.
I'm just going a little bit wider. I wanted to see where the car was, but. My pilot has been stretching it here in Skyfox. We
yoke his ass up too.
Fuel at 8 o'clock, so we are definitely on our reserve.
Oh man, he turned him over nicely. Yeah, bring the canines. I would have let the canine rip him up.
Got them both in custody.
Just for safety measures. Let the canine get him.
That's huge as well. But what a pursuit this morning! Wow.
Insane. And the way they just give up. Oh, okay, sorry. After all that crazy mayhem. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, did we do something?
Yep, we got to go. They got to go.
All right, let me switch the feed.
Thank you, guys.
Stu, thank you so much. Bro, they barely made it out before that shit was about to run out of.
Doing coverage of this pursuit in North Long Beach, it just came to an end. And Chris, it's hard to know even where to start with exactly what happened this morning because it just was a burglary suspect that started driving recklessly through most of LA, it seemed like.
Yeah, and let's give people a little recap right now since now this pursuit's coming to an end. All right, started as a burglary in Walnut. 2 suspects allegedly broke into a home. 911 was called, and from there, the pursuit started in this black BMW. We're going to give you a recap with video of what exactly happened.
That car hit a number of vehicles and then started falling apart on its own. It still kept going, even as the bumper came off, even as we saw sparks flying from the rims. Finally, just a short time ago, that car was disabled. It ended up hitting the back of a big rig.
I believe, where they lose control, ultimately swerve into that left lane, hitting the back end of the semi. Right when they made impact, here, the drivers took off. The car was still moving.
Yeah, they jumped over the side of the freeway, but then finally, I think, realized that there was nowhere to go. Finally surrendered to officers. So they are now in custody, facing so many charges from the original burglary call to all of the pursuit. We're going to continue.
You can tell this other guy is just a follower. This guy almost worse than the driver. This guy is a follower, will throw his whole life away, stayed in the car, bottom bitch the entire time, never jumped out to save his own life. This guy will throw his life on the line for this person, the driver that was running ahead of him. Amazing. They cut off the audio. Bro, I mean, I hope they actually charge him with something. I mean, they're going to be charged, but like, I don't know. They let these people go so easily.
Thanks for watching our 7 a.m. stream.
Yo, What a crazy ass morning.
Copy, still live. I don't know if you heard. Copy, still live. I don't know if you heard. There's possibly still somebody in the car. They haven't cleared it yet.
No, it can't be nobody else in the car. No me diga. That's it. It's two people. The guys went running. I mean, they always got to clear the vehicle, but imagine there's another person. And thankfully, nobody got hurt. Holy, I really thought this one was going to turn out to be something like, where this vehicle killed somebody, or like, I really was seeing the semi truck, but I really thought they were somehow going to roll under the semi or like swerve into the middle of the semi while I was driving. They're so lucky they caught the back end of that shit. And these guys don't see it like that. Loretta Lynn. Wow. Intense. They're saying, oh, she passed away. That is at 90, Loretta Lynn. Coal miner's daughter, country music icon. Oh man, I'm glad we got to like enjoy this a little bit this morning, and glad that nobody got hurt. Besides maybe the driver. I want to see if they show us the vehicle being cleared.
Okay. Welcome back. We actually are back on our
they got guns pointed
live stream. We have been following for the past hour a pursuit that was on the 10 freeway, the 710 freeway.
Yo, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it.
We saw two men get out of this black BMW you see here, run across the freeway, and they were apprehended by CHP deputies. We saw them being taken into custody, and we decided to end our live stream. But just a second ago, we are seeing that it appears another person, potentially another suspect, is still in that black BMW. And you see officers right there on the freeway. Their weapons are drawn because it looks like they're trying to figure out how many more people are in that vehicle.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see how all of this unfolds. But again, those two suspects that fled the vehicle after it crashed were apprehended and taken into custody. So the windows of this black BMW are very tinted, so we haven't been able to see for the past hour who is sitting in the back seat. We did know that there were two people in the front seat, obviously, the driver's seat and the passenger seat, but we are still waiting to hear or see who.
Bro, the pre-workout's already wearing out. It's just already like coming down. I'm sorry, I was a little bit kind of, I don't know, vulgar, graphic. I don't know, I was just having fun. But yeah, like the pre-workout's already kind of like, kind of starting to wear off. I'm like, damn, I don't want to take that shit again. I'm afraid to take that pre-workout.
It looks like they don't have their weapons drawn at this point in time.
And so we have 4 CHP cruisers that are out there, and it will be interesting to see who else remains in this vehicle, because Irene, as we were watching this chase unfold, when we had Air 7 zooming into the black BMW, again, it was hard to see because the windows are tinted. But in my opinion, it appeared that there was a woman in the front passenger seat. I could be wrong.
Yes, none of that has been confirmed.
It appears that, in my opinion, I thought there was a woman in the vehicle. Again, we don't know who else is in the vehicle, and that's what police are trying to figure out. It looks like they're trying to somehow get this person, this suspect, to surrender. And if you take a look now on the left side, the left passenger door is opening.
We're trying to see who is coming out, if they are surrendering. Looks like their hands are up, and they are surrendering to law enforcement. They're getting out of that black BMW very slowly.
So
looks
at least
like
one man.
One man is coming out of the passenger seat. We don't know
Sure.
if there's anyone else inside of the BMW.
Oh, man.
But looks like this person is surrendering peacefully.
Yeah, he's shook, dude.
Other 2 suspects were taken into custody just a few minutes ago, but this person is backing up to law enforcement who has their weapons drawn still, just to be on the safe side, and they're having him back up to the vehicle. hands behind his head and getting onto the floor of the freeway.
And for whatever reason, this person chose not to get out of the vehicle when the two other suspects did and run across the freeway. But now that was a peaceful surrender. That man has been handcuffed and is now being taken into custody. Right now it appears that all suspects, that there were a total of 3 suspects. We haven't seen anyone else emerge from the vehicle. 2 suspects, again, 2 men taken into custody probably 2 to 3 minutes ago, and that third man just taken into custody. But police, they are still on guard. You can see them still standing there, weapons drawn. So it does make me curious if they believe someone else could still be in that vehicle.
Can't be another person.
On both sides of the freeway stopped because of this.
Yeah, definitely a possibility because they are here on standby. They're waiting. We obviously can't see from our perspective because the windows are so tinted, but maybe since they are closer.
That was weird because the person in the front, what they showed earlier, looked like they had red on, but then the 2 people that got out and ran, it didn't look like they had red on. And then you see now this guy from the back come out with red pants. Is there another person in there? Did they switch seats or something? And I just can't imagine what the inside of that car, like the scraping and the metal, and then I don't know whose idea it was to open up the sunroof and you should get all the wind coming in, and then probably the screaming and shit that's going.
Busy freeway.
I don't know,
rush hour. And not even slowing down as that car began to fall apart. We saw debris flying at one point, the side mirror just hanging on its side. The bumper flew off. I'm not quite sure what happened with that, if any other vehicles were damaged by some of that debris.
One more suspect with a red shirt.
We didn't see any of that in our pictures that we were taking live. Hopefully no one else was injured in this situation, Rachel.
Oh,
right.
Another person. Look at this shit.
The 4th person surrendering, arms up, stepping toward CHP cruisers. And again, their weapons drawn. It does not appear this person has any weapon. And this man looks like he might be injured.
He's walking kind of funny.
He's stumbling a bit.
Oh, shit.
He's just fallen over onto the ground. And this is the time when CHP officers will move in. And as they're doing now,
is he
arresting
hurt?
him.
I guess he's hurt.
Suspect now
4
in custody too.
People.
So
4 people.
The drama continues. Yeah. We've been talking about how this has been a dramatic pursuit. We initially thought there might just be 2 men in that vehicle because we saw those 2 men get out of the vehicle and run across the freeway when they were apprehended. We've now seen a 3rd man get out and now a 4th man get out of this vehicle who looks hurt, probably potentially when that pursuit ended, when that vehicle crashed into the back of the semi. We don't know how this man was injured, but I would assume that could be a reason how.
And we're still getting a wide perspective of what's happening on this freeway. This is the 91 North Long Beach freeway, complete standstill on that side of the road.
What a mess.
We didn't see any officers that were on guard after that 4th man was apprehended. So at this point in time, it doesn't seem as if there is another person inside the vehicle. So they looks like they have all 4 in custody. But you can even see the skid mark from when that BMW slammed into the big rig, the back of it, with sparks just flying off of the rims of that front tire that had blown out, and smoke at one point had just been coming from inside of that damaged car and flying through the air. So this has been a very interesting pursuit. We're also getting a picture of the semi truck that the BMW slammed into earlier, which ended that pursuit.
Yeah, and the good news is that the eastbound lanes of the 91 freeway, they have reopened, so traffic is moving once again.
Imagine somebody in the
91
trunk.
West, this is in North Long Beach. Those lanes are closed and likely will be closed for some time. Hopefully CHP officers will reopen at least 1 to 2 lanes so that traffic can get moving. But if this is your commute you will want to plan accordingly, because right now that is at a standstill as police investigate this pursuit and what just happened there. But we now know at least four suspects have been taken into custody.
Yeah, Scarlett was saying, where's the red shirt person? Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if that's something somebody was wearing and they took it off, or like, yeah, where did that go? Or were we just looking at their legs or something? Leg gate. Someone under the head.
Injuries reported.
Yeah, it ended safely, that we are seeing from our perspective. It looks like officers are trying to clear the vehicle. They're looking for the trunk to open.
Somebody help them out. How you open this shit?
They're not having much
they open the trunk
success here, but it doesn't look like anyone else is inside the vehicle. They're just trying to make sure that this is a safe situation as they navigate all of this. But again, it started as a residential burglary. We had some suspects on the run, and it ended in this very dramatic ending of a pursuit. So we'd like to thank you for joining us on this stream and for watching our.
I guess that's it. They're cutting out. Yo, what a chase this morning. Holy, we've been here. That's only been an hour? Feels like longer. So much happened, it feels like longer. Hour and 20 minutes. Wow. I'm blown away. Let me show you a little recap. Pup Scan posted on Twitter of the end of the accident, and then I guess we can call it. By the way, Pup Scan.
In Stockton, the manhunt for an apparent serial killer continues.
Oh, and I'm going to talk about that later. We're coming back later live. We're going to talk more about the serial killer. I'm just seeing if there's more information that can pop up. There's already new information popping up about that guy, but we're going to come back later. Stop and pick them up? Yo. I mean, it's California, and they got like weird. All right, and that person in the home invasion, they said that they heard multiple voices, multiple people. So these people were robbing a home. It's good that they got them off the streets. I guess they don't have. I guess they're not armed.
Now in custody here on the night.
Crazy, man. Let me just get some of the super chats I missed real quick. And again, thank you guys so much for coming through. I appreciate it. I had no idea this crap was going to happen this morning. Crazy. LA. Thank you for the super chat. Says, if I were in a getaway car, I would put my flashers on to make sure people around me get out of the way. Yeah. Sweet Baya, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope you're doing well. Leslie, thank you for the super chat. Says, thank you, man, for the great play-by-play. What a great car chase. Now I have to go shop for a BMW, right? Shelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, there was just so many close calls. Crazy freaking chase. And I was literally talking to Silvio this morning about the serial killer. And then out of nowhere, I get the call about this chase. And when I got the call, I was like, oh, is media on the way or they're there already? And she was like, they're there. I'm like, what? I scrambled because usually you have time. Like, the helicopters got to get there. The media's on the way, and sometimes it gets canceled. No, you just, boom, they're already there. I was like, oh, shit. And Sky Fox was there first. I guess the reason Sky Fox must have ran out of fuel is because they were already out in the air. And I guess they caught this, or they were in the area or something. And so they just, right, they're already there before everybody else. I guess by chance. If you want to check out Pup Scan too, check him out. Follow him on Twitter. I'll put the link in the description. A lot of the times, but not all the time, the notifications come from him about chases. There's a bunch of other people to the follow, but I don't even know where the chat is at. Oh, here it is. So many screens up, I can't even find the chat. That's Pup Scan. But yeah, thank you guys again for coming through. And you know, on the channel, the chase thing is something that we kind of picked up, I don't know, months ago or something. And it's kind of just something, usually that's fun because I don't think we've ever caught a death. There was one time I thought that there was a chase and a standoff, and the guy it was a standoff, and I think the guy ends up killing himself or something like that. Or something happened. I think he killed himself in the car. but we've never caught like a collision or something like that. So most of the time, we don't see really anybody get hurt, and it's kind of like fun. And I heard that in LA, like in California, I heard that this is like a thing where people go to the bar, they sit at the bar, they're drinking, they're watching this stuff. That's how much of a thing that's become. But we're still covering, of course, true crime and different cases and stuff like that. And I've been kind of taking my time to ease myself back in, and we're slowly easing in. And so this California alleged serial killer, he's still on the loose. There's been more killings tied to this psychopath, if it's one or two or multiple people. And the crazy thing about that too is that the police originally said that it's not a serial killer, that the killings aren't tied, there's nothing to worry about, like there's not. And then they switched and said, oh yeah, all these killings are tied to this, I guess because of the ballistics, are tied to one or multiple people. So if you're out there in what do they call it, Stockton, California, and I still got to look into the other story, but this other story is a woman and a man. I think they survived. And it's kind of interesting because it's a woman. This guy's MO is targeting men. So why in this other case is it a woman? Is it just really targeting the man? Does he have a thing with men? Does he only want to target men? Oh, yes, the queen and the family of 4 taken in California. Kidnapped. That's another thing, too, I was going to talk about on the stream later. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it before I pick up my daughter because I want to go exercise for a little bit. Try to work out some of this caffeine. But we're definitely going to do it today. And did they find that family? Are they still, that family still kidnapped? Do they know where they're at? A whole damn family, including a child, kidnapped. In California, too. That's another California story. Oh. Okay. There's a video. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do the gym, go work out, and do some prepping for the next live because we got the serial killer and then we got that family too. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. I'm starting to like. I realized this a long time ago. I always knew it, but then especially with all the craziness that's happening on YouTube and the psychotic people online and offline, you have to protect yourself in one way or the other, man, because people are just, there's the shit that's going on these days, bro. You gotta, like, you don't have a choice. Even if you're not into that, you don't like guns, you got to, man. So Cal said, California is crazy. Don't believe me? Move there and find out. They rolled up on P&B at the restaurant. The whole thing with P&B was kind of crazy too, is that I can't believe, I don't know exactly how it happened, but because like they rolled up on him at the restaurant. I guess the girlfriend, I believe they said because of the location that the girlfriend put out, but I don't know if that's true or not on the Instagram, or I don't know if these people were just eyeing him. But there was a father and a son that was arrested in connection to the murder. Was the mother arrested too? And I was thinking, like, what kind of father and son shit is that to do? Trone and a 17-year-old son were charged with murder, robbery, and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit robbery. Trone's spouse, Chantel, was charged with robbery and being an accessory. It's like a family affair. Who does that? Britt Bratt. Remember the dude that hit the tree on the corner and died, Mel? Thanks for the chase. Yeah, I think that's the guy I'm talking about. Wait, did we do that? Did we stream that? Because the thing is, if somebody dies on stream, I think I have to end the stream and delete it if it happens like that. The bridge jump was amazing. That shit, to this day, I still laugh about that. Oh my God, that bridge jump. I wonder if I think PubScan still has it pinned. He still has a pin. We've watched it so many times. I'll show it again real quick. And we were live streaming this when it actually happened too.
That's just kind of an easier thing to do. And now, let's see here. The driver's getting out.
By the way, let me just give a little disclaimer. Nobody died. The guy broke his leg. Just a disclaimer in case that, so YouTube and all these people know. Guy jumps out, but he's alive.
Getting out and running across the freeway. Running across the.
This dude literally does a cartwheel. Look, check this shit out. Okay, this guy jumps over the median. How many? It's 2 guys. Okay, I think it's even more. Jumps over the median. This guy cartwheels over this shit. Fucking who? Into oncoming traffic, you lunge your body forward. Is that what he did? He put his leg over. He just lunges his body over, flips over, split up. And you see here, there's like a split here. This shit goes all the way to the ground level. The elevator right now, like on a bridge or a highway, whatever. This dude jumps straight off the damn bridge. For whoever hasn't seen that, this dude's literally, I guess he thought there was something in between. He jumps right off. And if you see how he's falling, he's like, oh. Bro, when this happened, I was shocked. All of us were shocked. And then I was like, yo, did this guy just die? Apparently, we found the news article. He like broke a leg or something, and that was it.
Don't even know what happened to that suspect that jumped and fell down off the on-ramp down below, but you have a number of CHP officers following behind, following this suspect here who is now that's just an easier thing to
do. That's crazy, man. I wonder if people like this when they do this kind of shit. Like, do they learn? Like, do they have a life lesson that they learn and like, okay, they change their life around? Or do they continue on with the same crap and they never change? Maybe some people do, maybe most don't. I don't know. Like these guys today that were driving and they ran into a semi-truck. Are they going to change their lives around? I mean, people like that are a danger to society. I wonder if they have a rap sheet, a record of all kinds of stuff they've done. Danger to society. And clearly they have no regard for their own life. What makes you think they're ever going to have any kind of regard for anybody else or society? So there we go, man. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming through. Love you guys. I will be back later. I'll set up a live stream so we can talk about the serial killer and that family. And sometimes it's good. We have a little bit of time so I can pull up some updates. Maybe more people, like more killings will come up, or maybe updates with the family will come, and we'll talk about it later. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Hit like on the way out. Take care and peace. Bloop, bloop.